Part 2 of Module 1, the particle nature of matter. In this module, we will continue about our study on the particle nature of matter. We are going to focus mainly on the phase change. Module 1 is based on DepEd's most essential learning competencies. Explain the properties of solids, liquids, and gases based on the particle nature of matter. And explain physical changes in terms of the arrangement and motion of atoms and molecules. At the end of Module 1, you should be able to answer the following key questions. What is matter made of? How does the particle model of matter explain some observed properties and changes in matter? Vocabulary for this module we have: matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Solid have definite shape and volume. Liquid takes the shape of the container. And gas moves in random motion and it is compressible. Based on the particle model of matter, particles are always in motion, and the energy varies depending on the temperature of the sample of matter is in, which determines if the substance is a solid, liquid, or gas. Solid particles have the least amount of energy, therefore they move slower, and gas particles have the greatest amount of energy, that they move faster than the others. A change in phase may occur when the energy of the particles is changed. There are also spaces between the particles of matter. When heat is added to a solid, its temperature rises. This causes the particles to vibrate rapidly and move further and further apart from one another. Eventually, a point is reached when the vibrating particles can no longer retain their orderly arrangement. The arrangement of the water molecules in solid gradually becomes disorganized, and the solid, where the molecules are in fixed position, turns to liquid, where the molecules are more free to move. This transformation process in which a solid is changed to a liquid is called melting or fusion. If additional heat is added, liquid particles gain more kinetic energy, and they move faster and move further apart that they become independent of one another. More molecules therefore have the energy to overcome the forces of attraction of the adjacent molecules. These molecules escape the gaseous phase. This is now called evaporation, changing liquid to gas. A reverse process also happens. A gas may be cooled or allowed to condense to become liquid. The molecules that escape from the liquid and go into the gaseous phase is called water vapor. The water vapor rises and cooled. When a gas is cooled, the motion of the particles slows down. If the particles lose enough energy, their attraction for each other can overcome their motion and cause them to associate with one another to become a liquid. This process is called condensation, the process where a gas is changed into a liquid. When you put liquid water inside the freezer, the cooling system of the refrigerator removes heat energy from the water molecules, as a result of which they have less kinetic energy and move more slowly. As more and more heat is removed, and as the molecules move more slowly, the forces of attraction between the molecules cause the molecules to be aligned. As this removal of heat continues, the molecules lose so much energy that they are not able to move from place to place, but only able to vibrate in place. In time, the liquid water becomes solid water, which is ice. Freezing is the process in which a liquid is changed to a solid. Note that liquid water that freezes is still water. Similarly, ice that melts is still water. This is why after melting an ice cube, you can freeze the liquid water back to ice. In other words, the same molecule of water are involved when these changes occur. Changes in physical state from liquid to gas or vice versa are common. However, some substances change from solid to gas without passing through the liquid state. This change is called sublimation. This happens when the vapor pressure of the solid is high enough that it changes to gas or vapor without becoming liquid. Example of substances that sublime are dry ice, mothballs, solid air fresheners, iodine crystals, and toilet bowl deodorizers. A reverse reaction in which gas changes to solid without passing through the liquid state also happens. This is called deposition. An example of deposition is when water vapor changes directly into ice, as in frost formation and snowflakes. To recap, let us review the important aspects of phase change. Melting is the transition from the solid to the liquid phase. Freezing is the transition from the liquid phase to the solid phase. Evaporating or vaporization is the transition from the liquid phase to the gas phase. Condensing or condensation is the transition from the gas phase to the liquid phase. And sublimation is the transition from the solid phase to the gas phase, while deposition is the transition from the gas phase to the solid phase. Well, that's it. Thank you for listening. Up next, Module 2, Atoms Inside Out.